In this video, I'm going to teach you what you need to do with the arms and the upper body in Tai Chi to get the best results. You'll learn how to maintain connection with the outer limbs of the body while doing your form and Tai Chi movements, along with some of the common mistakes that causes people to lose connection. Coming up. Welcome back to Center Life Balance. On this channel, we're sharing the best principles, practices, and techniques for physical, mental, and spiritual growth. So if that's something you're interested in, consider subscribing to the channel. This video is the fourth video in this Tai Chi step-by-step series where I'm showing you how to go from start to finish with your Tai Chi practice, beginning with the simple fundamentals, moving into the form later. If you haven't seen the first video in this series on standing meditation, highly recommend that you check that out now. I'll link it up in the YouTube card above. But if you've been here since the beginning, today we're going to be talking about what to do with the upper body in Tai Chi, specifically the arms, shoulders, and hands. The arms in Tai Chi can be a bit difficult to learn, especially from a video, because there's so many angles that we're working with. But in this video, I'm going to do my best to cover some of the guidelines for the arms. I think it's going to help you a lot in your practice. So let's get into the training. When it comes to the arms, there's a few things we want to notice and be aware of. First thing is that the elbows should not go above the height of the shoulder. So you don't want your elbows coming up higher than this point here, because what's going to happen is you're going to create tension in this area here. Now there are some moves in a form where the body may be tilting down, at which point the elbow will go higher than the shoulder, but you want to make sure that you're still keeping the alignment. The next thing we want to look out for is to make sure that the shoulders are sinking down and relaxed, the elbows sinking down and relaxed. We don't want to be letting the shoulders rise up. We don't want the elbows rising up. If you can relax the shoulders in your practice and relaxing the elbows, that's going to help you a great deal. We really want to encourage relaxation in the elbows, in the shoulders, in the hands, right down the body. When it comes to relaxation, how much should you relax? Well, we covered this a little bit in the standing video, but again, in terms of relaxation, we don't want the body to become limp. We don't want to become so soft that there's no energy there at all, that the body is just like a rag doll. We want to have a little bit of energy in the body, but we don't want to be tense. No, we don't want to be tension, we don't want to be limp, we want to be soft and relaxed, but letting the energy flow. Another thing that we want to look at with the arms is to make sure that we've got a nice curve in this area here. We don't want it to be too pinned, too close here, pinching. We don't want it to be too open. We want to make sure that there's a nice curve here. And when you're doing your movements, you want to keep that curve nice and smooth. You don't want to bring the arm in too close, and it's going to restrict movement. If it's too far out, then it's going to be just totally out of alignment, totally out of balance. So having it in the correct position is essential. So let's look at the way the hands move in Tai Chi. There's basically two circles that you're going to be making. There's an outward circle like this, and then there's the inward circle. In the outward circle, you want to be having the hands turned out like this, palm faced up, like that. Palm faced up as the hand's coming up, changing and turning, and changing and turning. Now there's two movements that are happening with the hand. Obviously there's the circular movement, but there's also the twisting and turning of the hand. So it's changing and turning. Let's look at the arms in terms of a silk reeling movement. So for, let's say, single-handed silk reeling, we want to watch the way that the hand moves. You've got two types of circles that you're going to make in Tai Chi. You've got outward circles, like this, and you've got inward circles, so inward circles like this. Now in almost every movement of the form, this is what you're going to be doing. It's either going to be an inward circle or an outward circle. Now there are a few exceptions, but generally in almost every movement of the form, these are the circles you're going to be seeing. It's either going to be outward or it's going to be inward. Now what we also want to ensure is that you don't want the hands to go too low down, okay? You want to keep them, and you don't want them to go too high up. You want to keep them around maybe the neck height, the height of the neck for the hand, and then around the height of the waist as you come down. Any lower than that, you're going to lose power. You're not going to be able to keep the connection between your center and the hand. So don't go too low, don't go too high. So keeping it in this sort of a range. And if you're bringing in the second hand, also only making two types of circles, either inward or outward. Now what we want to do is look at the center and its role when the hand is moving. So we discussed in the last video that the center leads the movement. So here's what I mean. If I'm just moving the hand by itself, let me just move the arm without using the center. Can you see the difference here? There's no turning at the waist. I'm just moving my arm and the shoulder is doing all the movement. You can see the difference, but when I turn from the center, now the center is in the movement. So center is in the movement, looking at my center, turning the hand and the arm and the shoulder, following the center, center leading the movement. Now we also want to make sure that the fingers are not too open when you're doing your movements in Tai Chi. We want to try and keep the fingers a little bit closer together like this. You don't need to make it tense, but just let them naturally come in closer together. Not sticking out like this or this, not like that. Just a little bit closer together like that. Now let's look at some of the common mistakes people make with the arms and the upper body in Tai Chi. The first mistake is that they open too much around the chest area. So when they're opening, when I'm doing a movement like opening the arms like this, they overextend here on the arm. Now, how do you know if you're overextending? Well, hold it in the position, hold it in your furthest position that you normally do, and let your arm rest there for a minute. Do you feel tension building up? You're probably overextended. So this area here should not be too open. It should contain the movement within the center. The arms should not get away from the center. You should always feel connected to the center, so you don't want to open too much here. Another common mistake people make is being too closed here. So bringing the arm in too close to the body. So if you're doing a silk railing movement and you're turning in here, but you're pinching here, bringing the arm in too close to the body, then it's going to create tension again. Again, you hold it like that for a minute and you'll find out, am I too close? I can start to feel tension building up here now. It's a little bit uncomfortable. So we want to relax that area, relax this area, and you already create space. You generally create space just by relaxing. So making sure that it's not too open, not too closed. That way you're going to have the correct alignment and you're going to be on the right track. Then the other mistakes that we see very often is that the body is going to be too tense or too limp. So we always want to make sure that we're keeping that connection to the center. You should feel that there's some energy going to the fingers. You want to feel that the chi can get to the fingertips. So you don't want that to be, again, too rigid, and you don't want to be floppy. You want it to be strong but soft and relaxed. There's got to be energy to the hands. Making sure that the energy is traveling to the fingertips and that the body feels complete, together, and connected. Everything moving together. You can see that my legs are taking part of the movement, the center is involved, the upper body, everything is moving together. Now let's look at some exercises that's going to help you to get more relaxation into the shoulders so that you can use the upper body more effectively. So obviously a really nice one is just nice soft shoulder rotations. So we're going both shoulders at the same time, backwards. Now you don't want to be lifting the shoulders too much. You want to try and keep the relaxation there and just using the least amount of energy. Just let them raise up very slightly and gently. Just always trying to focus on relaxation. So notice that my elbows are not getting involved here. The whole arm is basically heavy, letting the arm like you've got no bones in it, just nice and relaxed. Only the shoulders, and very small, subtle and soft movements is what you want here. Then you can change direction. Then you can do a few of these and then start doing alternating shoulders, backwards. And again, using the most relaxation possible. You don't want to be, this shouldn't be a workout of effort. You don't want to be vigorously rotating the shoulders like that. It's just too much. You want to just be doing nice and softly. The focus here is relaxation. It's developing nice, slow, soft movements in the shoulders, getting that relaxation going. And then changing direction. What you want to try and do then is carry this type of relaxation into your form and into your practice, whether it's Qigong or Tai Chi, whether it's a standing meditation. You could do these before your standing meditation. That's also going to be helpful. It's going to help you relax more. So we've got these shoulder exercises. Then we can do some wrist rotations, so fists making and then rotating at the elbows. And again, not too stressed here, just nice and relaxed, letting the elbows get a nice soft movement, turning the elbows, and then you want to do this 10 or 15 times in each direction. If you want, you can turn a little bit with the body just so you're making it a full body movement. You want to rotate the wrists a little bit. Again, trying to develop softness in the wrists. We're hoping here to make the wrists nice, soft and supple, so that eventually we get to a point where we've, that nice amount of relaxation in the wrists. The chi is going to get there nice and easy. And again, trying to keep the shoulders relaxed while you do this and the rest of the body relaxed. As you rotate each joint, you'll feel more relaxation, softness, and you may feel some warmth and tingling in the wrists. This is a good sign. Just giving them a nice shake. If you don't like that exercise, you can just do nice little circles here like this. And again, every time you're doing the circles, you want to ensure that the shoulders are nice and relaxed. Keeping the shoulders soft, letting the shoulders sink down. Changing direction. Once again, I'll post a link up in the YouTube card for a full video showing joint rotation exercises from the top to the bottom. If you want to check that out, it'll help you develop more relaxation throughout the body. And you can do some nice turns here with the upper body. This kind of a movement here just loosens up the torso. Stretching the arms out like this. We're moving into more loosening exercises now. These loosening ones is kind of letting you throw your arms around a bit. This one here is very good. You can get a little bounce going. Just letting your arms fall down as if they've got no bones. Nice and relaxed. And again, shoulders, shoulders, shoulders relaxed. The shoulders are curious. You relax them, move on to another body part. 10 seconds later, the shoulders are becoming tense again. We carry a lot of tension in our shoulders. These exercises will just pinpoint that tension, loosen it all up, get it nice and relaxed. Again, just turning now, letting the arms just tap against the body. You can do this one fast or slow. The focus is on relaxation in the shoulders again. You might say, Colin, please stop telling me to relax my shoulders. I get it. But really, the shoulders is one of the main areas that you're going to have to try and relax if you want to be able to get power to the hands and to get your posture correct. So these kind of loosening exercises are going to really help you to get nice and relaxed in the shoulders, arms, upper back, upper body. I mean, any of these exercises you can do are going to be helpful. Even if you do them, a few minutes before your standing meditation or a few minutes before your form, you're going to get much better results and you're going to feel nice and relaxed. The last exercise I want to recommend for you is single-handed or double-handed silk reeling. Silk reeling is basically taking all of those principles of Tai Chi into one practice, and it's very good for developing awareness of the center, connection with the hands to the body. Silk reeling is basically when you've stepped out to one side, a single-handed silk reeling will look like this. It takes into account the shifting of weight, the turning at the waist, the shifting of weight, turning at the waist. All the time, you're also making the circles with the arm. You're focusing on making your back straight, relaxation. All the elements of Tai Chi are right here in the silk reeling practice. So silk reeling, practice your silk reeling. It's going to help you develop much more connection in the upper body, and it's going to start driving those principles right into your training. I won't go into detail on how to do silk reeling in this video, but if you want to get stuck into some silk reeling now, click the link in the YouTube card above. That'll take you to one of the videos that describes how to do single-handed silk reeling in detail. You've just learned what to do with the arms in Tai Chi, along with some of the common mistakes people make that causes them to lose connection. What areas of your Tai Chi are you struggling with? I'd love to hear. If you can post your comments below, let me hear where you are at with your practice, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.